Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be on control flow statements in Python. So that includes if, else, and elif. I've also included in the video a few little helpful keyboard shortcuts that I help use to improve my productivity. As well as that, I've also improved my lighting setup, which is probably why I look so red right now. I've also been sunburnt decently, but let's just blame it on the lights. Yes, feel free to leave any questions, queries, comments. I'd love to, respond, start a bit of a discussion. So feel free to, chuck those in there and enjoy the video. Cheers. I'm going to go ahead and go Alt-Shift-G. It'll open up little power tools, search index. Really bloody cool. If you guys want me to make a video on that, this is one of the most effective tools I use just to navigate the computer. But anyway, I'll show you the implementation. So we start out VS Code. It came up there, or it's actually Visual Studio Code. You can see how I'd make that mistake. As we can see here, already opened up into this little statements.py. Over on the right hand side, we've got WinFetch executing. So that's just a command line tool. I liked NeoFetch, but I'm on a Windows machine right now. So I thought, wouldn't it be fun to just go ahead and try get something similar? So I can make a video on that as well if anyone would like to see. Anyway, yeah. I know one of those little keyboard shortcuts that I talked about before that is really cool is that if you actually want to, I've got the vertical side-by-side terminal and then code editor. And what you can do is you can switch the focus over. So if I do Command tilde, it switches my cursor over onto the terminal output, and I'm just going to type in clear because I actually want to get rid of this. And if I want to switch back to then the actual code editor, what I can do right now is just go Control 1, or it's probably Command 1, Command tilde if you're on a Macintosh. What we're going to do right now is we are going to create a variable. We're going to create a variable called temperature. And temperature is going to be an integer, and it's going to be a value of -5. Temperature. Oh, it's important to actually create a little equal symbol in there, actually assign the variable. So what we're going to do now is we've got a variable called temperature, and it's got a value of -5. And I'm thinking what I'm going to use to demonstrate control flow is we're going to do a little bit of a temperature evaluator, right? In New Zealand, if the temperature is better than 20 degrees or something like that, 20 or greater, it's probably a nice day, depending on a few different factors. Maybe it's blowing a bloody gale, but So what we're going to do is we've got our first variable temperature, and now let's just start out with if. So what we do is we go if, and then we'll chuck in our variable temperature that we created. So if the variable temperature, let's just say is less than 1, and we're going to do our colon, and then we're just going to press enter, and that'll give us 4 lines of indentation. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. In Python, indentation's really important. We don't have any sort of curly brackets to, create our structure. So we should adhere to the PEP8 standard of 4 spaces. We go ahead and we're going to do a simple print statement. We're going to go print. Let's go, she's pretty nippy, because we're kind of cool and understated in New Zealand, But yeah, we've got our little block here. And basically what we're looking at here is we've got our variable temperature. And now we've got our if statement, which handles that if our variable temperature is a value of less than 1, then we're going to be printing out to the terminal saying she's pretty nippy. Awesome. So now one of those other little keyboard shortcuts that I've got is I can actually do Control+S or Command+S if you're on a Mac. And that's going to save our work. We can see here because we've got that little white dot next to our if statements.py. That's how we can tell in VS Code specifically that our document is unsaved. So we'll just go Control+S, and as we can see, it's gone away. Awesome. So we want to execute our code now, and the way we do that in Visual Studio Code with just a keyboard shortcut is Control, Alt, and then N. And that's going to open up a new terminal window because, yep, it's just going to. And then awesome. Yeah, as we can see over there on the right, we've outputted that text, she's pretty nippy, because our if statement handles that logic, because temperature, if it's less than 1, we're going to be printing out it's pretty nippy. Yeah, so pretty simple stuff right there. That's really cool. I'll navigate over to the terminal right now. I'm going to clear that out. Awesome, good stuff. Now let's head on over back to our code editor. That's pretty cool, but our program's sort of limited in terms of its ability to evaluate certain conditions, right? What if the temperature is greater than 1? It just nothing handles it. So what we can actually do is we can use an else statement to just catch everything else that our if statement can't. So the syntax for that will just start out by enter, and that gives us a blank line, and then I've gone delete a couple times just to take us right back up to the top. There we go, and we type in our keyword else, press enter, and then we're going to say print. It's certainly is our temperature. I mean, yeah, it's pretty blank. It's just going to catch everything else that if statement doesn't catch. So really the temperature could be anything from 2 to any kind of number at all. I mean, it could be 100 degrees and we could be boiling. But anyway, let's just test out that this logic is correct, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to press escape, and then we're going to update our value to something like 10. So our temperature variable is now got a value of 10. And so hopefully our first if statement won't execute because it's no longer true, and our else statement will execute because it is true. Once again, we'll go Control plus S to save, and then we'll go Control Alt N. And as we can see, our text, it certainly is a temperature, is output then to the console. That's pretty cool. It means that our code is working as expected. As I was saying, earlier in the recording, I was saying that, a temperature, if it's greater than maybe 20 degrees, something like that, bloody good day. So what we can do now is I'm actually going to update this integer value to 22, simulating a bloody good day. It comes around once a year or whatever if you're living in New Zealand and Wellington. Anyway, so we're going to go back and we're actually going to go enter, and then delete. So that gives us another blank line, and we're going to go in here and use a new keyword. Our new keyword is elif, or else if. And what this allows us to do basically is we can build out that logic where we wanted to check if it's greater than 20. So for example, if temperature is greater than 20, let's say, greater than 20. Also, if temperature is greater than 20, we're going to be printing to the console, she's a bloody pearler. There we go. So right now, we've got a little bit of logic going on where we've got a temperature, or we've got some logic to handle if the temperature is -1. We're going to be saying, shit, bloody cold. And then our second line of code is going to be checking if it's a nice day. And, we're saying bloody pearler if it is. And then our third line of logic is just going to handle any sort of situation where it isn't less than 1 or greater than 20. So let's just go test this out. Once again, let's go save this. So we'll go Control plus S, and then we're also going to go Control Alt N. And would you look at that, because the variable temperature is has a value of 22 now, it means that our second line, our elif statement, is going to execute now. And so we're going to be printing out, she's a bloody pearler. Awesome. So yeah, that's a little bit of an introduction to control flow statements in Python using if, else if, and else. Feel free to leave any questions, queries in the comments below. We're probably one video away from being able to get over to some more interesting concepts, class and OOP, or object-oriented programming in Python. So I'm really looking forward to that next video. Yeah, feel free to subscribe. I do this all for free. Some of these videos take, upwards of 8 hours to edit. I'm hoping this one takes a little bit less time. Trying to move towards a system where I basically am able to spend less time editing, more time actually teaching. I feel like this channel was initially designed to be minimal on the visuals, maximize the amount of learning / content. If you like this kind of format, let me know in the comments. But yeah, no, so stick around. Thank you very much for watching, and yeah, cheers.